Jay, that's strangely close to Daniel Jones from the Giants. Daniel, is that you? Beat the Chiefs. Show me. If the Broncos and Russell Wilson can show me that they can beat the Chiefs, then I will start believing.
The crowd up. And so are this defense, and Kansas City won't snap the ball again. The Denver Broncos have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
David Montgomery on the Lions, former Bear, gonna make this his revenge game for sure. David Montgomery gets the touchdown that ices the game. No! And there's a flag. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. There's flags. Snap. Hold. Kick.
Denver wins! Denver wins! Let's go!
They open. No!
What happened? Oh shit. We're going to try this, and if it doesn't work, then I'm adjusting at halftime. For the last 6 weeks, I've worn Peyton Manning's Tennessee jersey. We're 6. No, fuck it. I can't risk it. I can't risk it. I need the getting our asses kicked. All right. We're good. We're good. The Broncos are trailing by 7. Kyle, are you superstitious? I'm not saying I am, but I mean, look, if you were 1-2 and you bought a jersey, and for the following 6 weeks you won wearing that jersey, I'm not superstitious, but I don't really believe in that stuff. But at the same time, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And it's kind of like the Fever pitch, where right when he was willing to give up his season tickets for her, and she goes, "You love me enough to give up your season tickets. I love you enough not to let you. Why don't you say we do this all over again? Jerk one out of the park." And he goes, "That's the sexiest thing I ever heard." And the Red Sox come back and win, and the Red Sox were like, "You guys got to keep this thing going." So they took it on the road, and the greatest comeback in baseball history took place. So maybe there is something magical. I don't know. Here we go. 2nd and 12. Time to start winning. Geno Smith throws it. Incomplete, setting up 3rd and 12. Wear the luck jersey. Ray Holds like, dude, wear the jersey. You know, there were actual Bronco fans telling me not to attend this game because of my record attending Bronco games. you do start to feel cursed, not going to lie. 0-6. 0-6. Broncos, Seahawks, Broncos, Raiders, Broncos, Dolphins, Broncos, Steelers last year, Bengals, Broncos, sack, lunch, num, 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 num. And just like that, I put the jersey on, and we get back-to-back negative plays, and the Raiders are punting. Look, we wore our throwbacks against the Raiders last year, and some people might not remember, but I think it was 10-0 or 10-3, and Brock Bowers had a huge play that set up the Raiders. No, the Raiders' offensive lineman has an injury. That set up the Raiders on our 10-yard line, and they're moving down the field no problem, kind of how this game feels. And you're like, man, they're about to score and go up 17-3. And Patrick Surtain had a pick six. And everyone saw the play because he won Defensive Player of the Year. And they showed that play was the number one play, a 99-yard interception return. But that play was huge because it shifted the whole momentum. And it went from 17-3 to 10-10. And I try to remember those type of starts because for whatever reason, we play the Raiders. We've done it with a couple other teams where I don't want to say we play down to their level, but these teams come out and give us their best shot. I swear, it feels like this is why I feel like the Chiefs had so many one-score games last year is because you turn into the team that everyone wants to beat, and everyone's playing their best game. The Titans, people are going on the road. They're saying all the cliche things, let's not overlook an opponent. But at the end of the day, they don't care. I mean, they want to beat the Titans, but it's not oh, you beat the Titans, you're a legit team. So if you can beat a legit team, a Super Bowl defending champion, or even the conference defending champion, then all of a sudden people are you're legit. So the players, there's a lot on the line in those type of games. And I feel like Denver's turning into that team where we're really getting everybody's best shot on a weekly basis. We've been able to win the games, but it hasn't always looked easy. I mean, we've had those Cowboys and Bengals type games, but I'm really hoping that we can pull away in this game and look back on it and laugh about how the first quarter went. Because ultimately that's how it happened last time we played the Raiders in these throwback jerseys. It was chaos, and then by the end of the game, you're like, I can't believe at one point in this game I thought we were going to lose it. And hopefully that's what happens. I try to keep that in mind. KC, anyhow, Sean Payton gave a great interview at the start of the game. I saw it. I'm in the process of moving right now, so I'm in between two houses, and I'm on my way back here, and I take the wrong exit because I'm not used to driving from the new house. And I was so mad I had to watch on my phone the first drive. I was happy I didn't miss anything, but happy to be with you guys now because the Broncos were obviously waiting for me to start the stream, to start winning. Here's a punt. Bobbled it. Unfortunately, there was no real pressure on the punter to take advantage of that. Damn. Denver's had those moments this year where they've almost blocked the punt, and had they had a better pass or punt rush, this muffed punt would have cost the Raiders, but he picked it back up and he still had nobody even near him. Got to do better on special teams, and that is one area the Broncos need to improve. The last couple of weeks, it just has not been to the standard, and questions have been asked all week. The special teams coordinator, Rizzo, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's one of the best coaches, special team coaches in the league, but he said we all got to do better. and 10. Bo Nix makes the handoff, looking to pass, looking. He's going to throw it down, and RJ Harvey's going to catch. We got a flag. Now they're going to. Why'd they. What's going on? They blow the play dead? Holding offense? Oh my God. Now the penalties. It's going to be one of those days. Mercedes Lewis, welcome to Denver. We elevated him from the practice squad, and his first play is a holding call. Come on, dude. What are you doing? You got your hands around his hips. You're 43 years old. You know the rules. No. Now it's 1st and 20. This is what kills me. They blame Bo Nix. Like, what happened? He sucks. It's like they didn't even run a pass play in the first series, and now we're starting with 1st and 20. And a handoff, and RJ's going to pick up 4. So we got holding on 3rd drive. Set up 2nd and 20. Come on. We got Crafty in the chat. What's going on, Crafty? And we got Daniel Berry Sports Red Light. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 2nd and 16 after the run. And what the are you doing? Just threw it over the head of Sutton. I don't know if he could have caught that if he had jumped, because he didn't jump. And look, the interception Bo threw last week, that I will go to grave saying that is on Sutton. He needs to start jumping and attacking these balls instead of just watching them. Nix hits the out route, caught by Franklin, but it's going to be a couple yards short, and they're going to go for it. Right call. Stop jerking off. Bo throws a better ball there, and it's a 1st down anyway. Raiders aren't ready. Snap the fucking ball. What is the official doing? Oh, they substituted. Now they're substituting again? We have to let them sub twice? Hard count. I love how if we caught a 1st down and started, we would have got called. They call taunting random as hell. But this is going to be a chippy game. At some point, somebody's going to get called for taunting or unsportsmanlike conduct. It's just the nature of the game. 4th and 8 because of the delay game. I don't know why they trust this punter after he just kicked it 30 yards. What the hell, dude? I'm going to lose my mind if this team doesn't get their shit together. Come on! What the hell's wrong with you? What the fuck? What is that? God! Deeper, deeper, deeper. I normally have 3 candles lit. I only lit 1 candle, so I think that might be part of why things aren't working. All right. Now we're going to start winning. 2nd and 10, throw. And gain of 3, but it's going to be 3rd down. Raiders ran the ball in from about the 4-yard line, which is a stark difference from Texans running 3 plays from the 1-yard line last week and not getting in. Watch out for Crafty's comments. Thank you. Hold your applause. Sorry, guys. 3rd and 7. Here is taking a shot. Incomplete. No flag. Why is there a flag? Why is there a flag? Offsides? Come on! What are you doing? Oh! Dude. Now it's 3rd and 2. 3rd and 7 offsides. After they didn't convert, by the way. Nope. Didn't convert. Why would they call it QB sneak? What do they do here? Are they going to go for it? All right. So, style minimal. There we go. And we don't need to show my name. You guys know who I am. All right, Genty back in the game. They're going to pitch it to the top of the screen. Yep, there's the motion. There's the fake handoff that's going to throw it. They went back to the other side, and there's a flag and a touchdown. This is going to be a rub route or a chip. Yep. That was obvious. They're going to have to punt it now. Hopefully they get a touchback this time. Fourth and 12. Pete Carroll still talking to the officials because obviously that was a big change. You know, you go from a touchdown to a punt. Oh my God! It bounced out at the 1 again. It just bounced out at the 1. Why aren't the announcers more stoked about the half-yard line? Oh my God! It's just gonna be one of those. No, it's not. No, it's not. Shake that shit off and get out there. Come on. I hate losing to the Raiders. Come on. Oh, all right. I do got some stuff uploaded here. I made a cool video. Made a cool little kind of gangster video. Let's see. This is video. Thursday night football. Remaining schedule. And we got, I'm just getting a couple logistics handled here. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And this is going to be better for you guys. All right. We're going to make my bubble smaller. Let's see. I like that one. All right. And then, here we go. I'm gonna have chat. There we go. 8 minutes, 58 seconds left. And Denver on the half-yard line. From the 1. Bo's going to throw it. There we go. Breathing room. Picks up 5 yards there. Yeah, we're scoring on this drive. We're scoring on this drive, absolutely. 97-yard touchdown pass incoming. Remember the Browns game? That's what is about to happen. Here we go. Here's the pass. Oh, get off of him. Dude, make that block. That is so soft of him. It's one block, dude. Get physical. He's over there dancing with him. Punch him in the mouth. Look at this. You got to make that block. I swear, if they do something stupid on this 3rd and 1. Ah! God, catch the ball, Ingram. It's his second drop. Fuck. Loses the accuracy. The ball hit him in the hands. How about he catches the ball? God. Every punt is an adventure. Yeah. If you're not a Broncos fan. What the fuck is that? What are you doing? Yeah. Seriously. Get that. Wow. a penalty on top of that. That's great. Can we get one now? Gino looking to pass. Why is there 3 guys on 1 Raider, and they're still not closing the space there? Here's what they were just showing. Denver's the only team with 3 players with 5 sacks. Nick Benito, Jonathan Cooper, and Zach Allen, of course. Zach Allen's been going off lately. 2nd and 10 after they wave off the last one. Okay, so they change it. Let me get this straight. You guys went out of your way to change it to incomplete, just to go back and change it to complete. Wait, now it's not complete? I don't care. 2nd and 10. We're going to do a handoff, and Nick Benito is going to meet him in the backfield. There we go. Finally. That was a huge play. They're they're on a short field right now. Why is he subbing out on 3rd and 14? And Michael Mayer out of bounds. Michael Mayer. How much did he just pick up? 12? Nick Benito's hurt. Nick Benito's hurt. Why isn't anyone talking about this yet? Nick Benito's got an injury to his shoulder. Oh my God. On the play where he stopped Brock Bowers. 4th and 5. For coming, sack lunch. Talanoa Hufunga. Look at Hufunga, man. That is the best free agent signing on the defensive side of the ball for any team in the NFL last year. People were worried about whether he was going to be impactful because of the injuries. He has been our best defensive player besides Sertan, but with him out the last couple of weeks, he has been our most impactful player just because he's played every single week. He's definitely our most impactful player with Sertan out of the game, and there's a reason that Denver made him a captain before he ever played an official snap. Just a great guy, brings a lot to the team, a lot of energy, flies around, very instinctual, right? The Troy Polamalu comparisons outside of his hair, it's real. Right? It sounds so cliche, like Oh, another white guy that thinks you know, guy that looks like Troy Polamalu and plays safety with long hair is Troy Polamalu. But outside of all that stuff, he actually plays like Troy Polamalu. Casey said, "I agree with Raiders going for it on fourth down, but sack lunch." What are you going to do, Casey? I mean, what are you going to do about this? I mean, you're a Chiefs fan, obviously. I would imagine part of you would be going for the Raiders because the division and all that. But part of you probably doesn't want to cheer for either of these teams. But that never stopped me from enjoying a primetime AFC West game. Like, just because I can't cheer for a team doesn't mean I don't wanna watch a game. Like, I watched the Super Bowl, and honestly, like, if the Broncos aren't in the Super Bowl, I really could care less. I'm not even one of those people that's like, I'm gonna cheer against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. As far as I'm concerned, I I would pick I would want them to win. It makes our division look tough, and it sets up for measuring stick games the next year. Hey, you're able to beat this team, then you can win the Super Bowl because that's what that team did last year. And if Denver's not in it, I have nothing to lose. Like, there's people out there that are like, "You're not a real fan if you ever cheer." And I'm like, I wouldn't say cheer. I'm not cheering. I'm just okay with the results. I'm not gonna celebrate a third down conversion or anything like that. I'm just watching the game and not upset with the results either way. Here's J.K. Dobbins, and he's going to pick up 12, 13 yards. J.K. Dobbins, top 5 in the NFL right now in rushing yards. You want to see something, guys? I'm going to show you something. I made this yesterday. This is the last time. Are they running? Are they going tempo here? Looks like it. I'll show you after this play. First and 10. Raiders look like they're bringing pressure, and they are. And Denver's going to run right into it. Why not audible? Flag comes out. What is the flag? Hold on. How was there holding that fast? The play lasted half a second. Okay, Nick Benito's out of the blue tent with no injury designation. Thank God. All right, here we go. First and 20. Nick's rolling out right and caught first down. When he dropped that? He dropped that? Second and 18. What is okay? My thing just glitched because I swear I just saw Bo Nix rolling to his right and then throwing it over top to RJ Harvey. He got he caught it and got tackled, and he was past the line. I don't know what that line was because Nix run. Oh, he's gonna throw it. Yes, Bryant. Why is the first half almost gone? God, that's frustrating. Look at this. It looked like he was gonna run it right here, and then Pat Bryant slips right behind. Here we go. RJ Harvey steps out of bounds after the short catch. Gonna lose a couple yards there. Man, oh man. Come on. All right, 2nd and goal. Bo Nix. Come into the line of scrimmage here. Nix looking, firing. Caught. Touchdown. Troy Franklin. That was a tight window. Tight window. Tight throw. Tight coverage. Tight catch. What's his extra point? Right through the upright. He was October's all right. So this is what I was going to show you guys. So Denver has a top 5 rusher right now, and that's pretty awesome. So somebody asked the question, when was the last time Denver had a top 5 rusher? So this is what I put together a list, all right? I didn't realize how long getting this answer would take. The last time the Broncos had a top 5 rusher was 2003 with Clinton Portis. And get this, in 2008, Denver's leading rusher didn't even crack the top 50. And I'll show you that list because that commercial break was only one commercial. Actually, they're just bullshitting. Hold on. All right. So 2024, Javonte, 46. Now, we're keeping in mind, this is our best runner, leading rusher every year. 46, that's not even 32. Like, you would think if you're not even top 32, that means other people's RB2s and 3s have more rushing yards than our leading running back. He had 3.7 yards a carry. That's why anyone's like, I bet Denver regrets letting Javonte go. It's like, what do you mean? He was trash. 29th, Javonte, Latavius Murray, Melvin Gordon, 10 and 11. Philip Lindsay, 9th. Colorado kid, 5.4 yards a carry. CJ Anderson, 9th. Still haven't gotten top 5. Devontae Booker, 2016. Ronnie Hillman, rest in peace. 863. CJ Anderson, no Sean Marino. Willis McGahee, no Sean Marino. Hillis, 59th. Selvin Young, Tatum Bill, Mike Anderson, Ruben Drons, and Clinton Portis, 2003 was the last time Denver had a top 5 rusher. Malcolm Roach. That goes down as a sack. And we got a timeout taken by Denver. Love the timeout. Love the timeout call there by Denver. And since we're at the timeout, let's go back to that list. Look at this. Mike Anderson had 1,000 yards. Now, to be honest, 2005 is really the year because we had Tatum Bell had 900 yards that year too. We almost had 2,000 rushing yards between Mike Anderson and Tatum Bell, and we finished 3rd in rushing yards that year. Michael Vick and the the Falcons were first, and number 2 was the Seattle Seahawks. Shaun Alexander had 2,016 rushing yards, and on top of that, he won MVP, which used to happen one time ago. Running backs won MVP. It hasn't really happened since, besides the year right after when Adrian Peterson won it. Um, and Adrian Peterson won it. Let me pull that up. Good thing we got 3rd and 6 here. Big 3rd down. Denver's called their timeouts, trying to get the ball back. Motioning. Here's a throw. Sack lunch. Num, 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 num. Zach Allen and Benito. A Zach Benito sandwich. Or a Allen Nick sandwich. A Nick Allen. That's what I'm going to call that from now on. Oh, that was a Nick Allen. That sounds clean. Yeah, you got Nick Allen. I just started a trend. From now on, that's called getting Nick Allen. Nick Allen. So Denver will get the ball back. But back to what I was talking about, because I think it's kind of cool. All right. So you see, tell me when's the last time there was Denver right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 695 yards. What's crazy is Rico Dowdle being 3rd in the NFL, and he didn't even start running the football until week 4. So here it is, right? I said this, and I'm going to share my screen again here, because the real question was from this post, right? Someone tell me, when's the last time Denver had a top 5 rusher? Because as you can see, J.K. Dobbins is 5th in the league, and that is not something that we've experienced in a very long time, as you can see from right here, which is every leading rusher for the Broncos until we had a top 5 rusher. But if we're being honest, right, 2003, Clinton was 5th with 1,591 yards. I said if we're being fair in the quest to find a year where Denver had a legitimate rushing attack, it's worth noting that in 2005 we had 2 running backs nearly hit over 1,000 yards. Mike Anderson did with 1,014, and Tatum Bell was 79 yards away from it. Denver finished tied for 2nd with Seattle at 152 rushing yards per game. Seattle went to the Super Bowl, and I know because the Pittsburgh Steelers beat Denver in the AFC Championship game. And I watched that game with my friend who was his name was Lance, and he was a big Steelers fan. And 2005, so I was 9 years old, 9 or 10 or 11, 10. Well, at that point, I would have been 11. But that was my first real heartbreak, honestly. I had seen Denver in the playoffs against the Colts years before, but it's vague. I can barely remember it. I vividly remember the Patriots game before this with Champ Bailey taking the 99-yard interception return. This was the first year that I gained consciousness fully, which is crazy. But yeah, Shaun Alexander, man, 1,880 yards with 28 touchdowns in 16 games. Made his 3rd Purple and 1 Offensive Player of the Year and took home MVP that year. Denver is going to catch this at the 32, and special teams for Denver, once again, not great. There was 5 different Raiders ready to hit him right when he caught it. Got to do better on the kicking coverage. Got to block better. Design the plays better. I don't know, but that's not it. All right. Watch the Raiders today. I feel like this is a fake punt type of game. 1st and 10. Bo Nix looking. Catch the ball! Why do they keep dropping it? God. Every single week, there's 7 drops. Catch it. We had Sutton drop a touchdown. We had Ingram drop 2 already today. One of them on 3rd down. 2nd and 10. Thank you. Catches the ball. He can catch. 2-minute drill. This is when we can trick Bo Nix into thinking it's the 4th quarter. Look at that. That was amazing. Nix throws it to late flag. Now what? Roughing the passer? How is that a pass interference? Dude, they do that every play. What? That was such a soft ass call. Dude, that was such a terrible call. That was such a bad call. If it's a penalty, it's a penalty, but that was bullcrap. Thank you. 1st down. Still can't stop us. Here we go. 59 seconds. What is this now? Another penalty. Why did it take that long to call a false start? And a 10-second runoff? What the hell? McGlinchey, why are you guys making so many mistakes? Ah, this is going to be a halfback slip screen. There's a halfback slip screen to Batty. He motioned him out wide just to see if he was in man coverage. And there's Batty right, rolling, going deep. Intercepted. Why did you throw that ball? It's not a 50-50 ball. was the first interception, actually the second this year that I'm like, that is just a terrible interception. Oh, he dropped it. He got beat too. Riley Moss, stop being a bum. Celebrate that being incomplete. There's literally nothing we did to cause that incompletion. Riley Moss got beat, and it should have been a touchdown. So that was like Bo Nix's the Cowboys game on the opening drive. That interception that he threw in that game, that was terrible. And then this one is the second. Casey said, I grew up watching the Cowboys with all their great teams of the past until Jerry Jones came along and bought the team. Dang, that's harsh but true. As I cooled on the Cowboys, I found I liked other teams and certain coaches in particular. I liked the Cowboys through Jimmy Johnson and Troy Aikman. Then Patrick Mahomes played for Texas Tech, my alma mater, and I saw flashes of greatness. I naturally gravitated to the Chiefs when he went to Kansas City. I appreciate the Bowden family and the Broncos and rooted for John Elway when he won the 2 Super Bowls. There are a lot of coaches in the NFL that I admire. I feel the same. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Growing up too, as just a fan of football, like I was always a diehard Broncos fan, but I wore other jerseys. I had a Edgerrin James jersey. Um, I had a Marvin Harrison Jr. Here is some pressure. He's gonna have to just throw it. That's a fumble. That's a fumble. Call timeout. Force the punt. Force a punt. Now they go to half. Damn it! Why? They had a timeout. I can see it. That is true that Pete Carroll's talking about the punter's done a great job. It does change the plays you can call when you're on the 1-yard line, and Denver has started 2 drives with a handicap being in the 1-yard line, and we've given them the ball in our own territory because we're punting it 30 yards, 30 net yard punts. So, I mean, special teams is like the all-star in the first half was special teams. It dramatically changed the game. It's only 7-7, but it's insane. It's insane how different both teams' special teams are operating. One of them's leading to um, expected points, and the other one is giving up expected points. And I'm sure if you typed it into an AI computer, you would see that the punter for the Raiders, if you were to combine our punter, uh, he would be the most valuable player. We got Ginger in the chat. Oh, by the way, note, alma mater means I graduated from the college, for me, Texas Tech. Okay. Is it matter? Like, you matter, or is it mater? Like, mater, but without the Yards in Denver to win, 474. I need Ingram to catch 2 more passes, a Dobbins touchdown, Bowers touchdown, and Genty 15 more rushing yards. Let's go Denver. But, dude, I didn't even know that, I didn't even know you were in here. Everybody give it up for the legend, the man, the myth, the one and only Jinja Ninja. All right. I'm gonna use the bathroom really quick. I'm gonna be just about 4 minutes. I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I gotta go check. I gotta tuck. Uh, I'll be right back. But I'm gonna leave you guys daydreaming. All right, I'm back. Ugh, I'm back and boozy.
The AFC West is going to have 3 playoff teams again, and the Broncos are not going to be one of them.
They're going to be 6-5 headed into the bye and have to scrape their way into the postseason.
I'm not going to be wrong about Bo Nix. I think even the biggest Bronco fan is recognizing Bo Nix ain't the guy, and probably isn't going to be the guy.
I once knew a nigga whose real name was William. His primary concern was making $1 million, being the illest hustler that the world ever seen. He used to fuck movie stars and sniff coke in his dreams. A corrupted young mind at the age of 13. Nigga never had a father and his mom was a fiend. She put the pipe down, but for every year she was sober, her son's heart simultaneously grew colder.
All right. If that doesn't get you fired up, I don't know what does. That is the song I listened to before my first amateur boxing match. You know, everybody gets to walk out to a song. Nas was the truth. I knew, I was like, all right. I was like, Ginger's gonna love it. Casey won't. Crafty will be wondering who it is. And Daniel Sports Highlights will be indifferent. I know my people. I know my people, and I love you all. By the way, obviously heartbreaking news this morning with the passing of Marshawn for the Dallas Cowboys. And I just want to throw this out there, man. I've gone through a lot of shit, a lot of terrible stuff. I've always been lucky to have, for whatever reason, my mental health has always been able to sustain the things that I've gone through better than others. I'm no better than people that, you know what I mean, can't. We're all different. We're all wired different. I have different problems, you know. But, you know, if you guys are ever feeling like you don't matter, it's so important that you reach out to somebody and tell them. You have to let people know that you're not okay. You have to be okay with that. You have to just put your pride away and tell somebody, call them, a brother, a friend, say, hey, I'm not okay. And I think for a lot of people, they're like, I don't have that person. You know, I got a group of people that I act like I have it all together for, and then I have nothing left really besides fake friends. But if you guys ever feel like you don't have anybody, send me a DM. I care. I'll be your person. I'll be your one person in the world that cares. 1st and 10. Bo Nix. We're going to start this one on the 4. No, the 6-yard line. False start. Now we're going to start on. Mercedes Lewis. What the hell, dude? Fuck. We just picked this dude up off the street, and he's got 2 penalties. This guy's not ready to play. This guy's not ready. J.K. Dobbins, pick up 3. I'm tired of Sean hiring his buddies, and they're not ready. Goodness. Here's Bo. Gonna fake the handoff. Running. Firing. Incomplete. Third and 12. And Geno Smith grabs his helmet because he's that confident. We'll see what happens. Bo looking. Why is there a yellow line 3 yards in front? Why does our starting field position have to be the 4-yard line every time? I swear, if this guy punts a 20-yard punt, I'm going to lose my mind. Holding receiving team. Come on. God. I feel like no matter what happens in the rest of this game, like I'm going to be mad. There's like nothing they can do to make me happy. I don't care if they score on every possession for the rest of the game. I've seen too much. I don't know if it's Thursday night or what. They're getting a little too comfortable in those Orange Crush jerseys to be playing like this. Genty. 5-yard run on first down. Can't have that either. Here we go. And gain of 3. Two yards. All right. 3rd and 2. All right. Play clock at 1-0. False start. Delay game. Yeah. You better show this timeout. Where's the play clock? Where's the play clock? I don't care that he called the timeout. All right, 3rd and 2. Raiders apparently called a timeout. It's going to be a quick throw to the flats. 1, 2, ball's got to come out. It doesn't. Incomplete. Tyler Lockett, the intended receiver. That's an old connection between Geno Smith and Tyler Lockett. Yeah, Geno did not look comfortable. I was like, if that's a 1-2 ball out, and once that ball didn't come out, I'm like, that wasn't supposed to happen. And you could tell Geno was really uncomfortable with extending that play. Hey, the 15-yard line. Hey, that's not bad. How about that? How's that for starting field position? The 15-yard line, man, that's like the best ever. By the way, I got to update the ticker. Nobody told me. Why didn't anyone tell me? Why didn't anyone tell me? Okay, I'll tell you. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. Well, he's married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. He's married to the Muffin Man. I thought of shooting a funny commercial because I have a body wash called Method Man. And I thought it would be funny where somebody is like, I don't do TikTok skits because I always think they're cringy when people are like doing them. I'm like, ah, I'm not saying that it's like, if that's your thing, like go for it. I'm sure there's things I do that cringe you, but I just, part of me is like, God, they're like talking over the voice in the background, pretending that that's them talking. And they're like, the whole thing just cringes me out. Like even acting it, it gives me literally like shivers. But if I were a commercial producer, I worked in marketing or something like that, my commercial idea would be somebody smells somebody and it smells so good. They go, "Why do you smell so good? Tell me why you smell so good." Okay, I'll tell you. Have you heard of Method Man? Method Man? Method Man. And it's like the same thing as the Shrek thing. Yeah, I'll say it for you. Mm. All right. Method Man. It's amazing what can happen when you start a drive outside of your own 4-yard line. KC too said, "Me too. There are people that care about you and willing to help. If and when you need it, call them." And Ginger too. Some good people on this channel, man. They better give him that yard he got from backing up. He backed all the way up. Who the hell is Throckmorton? Wattenberg? Is there an injury I'm not aware of? I know Ben Powers is out, but Quinn Marinez. Might be time for me to pull up the injury report. I swear, these short weeks, man, they creep up on you, and injury report ahead of Thursday night. Here we go. All right, so we don't have Patrick Surtain, we don't have Marvin Mims, we don't have. Here's the injury report. These refs stink. A Beaverman. Gross. 3rd and 1. QB sneak, first down. It's one of those nights. I'm tired of people covering the Broncos and saying that. Can we give them a show? God. Here's a throw. Is that Bart? Adam Preston. Raiders have been playing good defensively. I'll give them that. 1st and 10. Denver's starting to move the ball. Helps when you don't start on your own 4. And it's going to be a handoff. Good job by Dobbins to pause and turn that upfield. Here is the injury report. Quinn Marinez is ill. Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out. Because I'm like, Quinn Marinez isn't on the injury report. Jonathan Cooper, limited. He's playing. Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones is playing. Second and 3 is going to turn into 3rd and 1. I think it's going to be 3rd and 2. Let's see. Everybody was full. Marvin Mims was out, and Nate Adkins is out, and of course, Patrick Surtain is out. Nate Adkins helps us a lot in the running game, and nobody helps us in the running game more than Arnaz, who is out with an illness. So we're going to need some guys to step up here. We're going to need our running backs to get some hard-earned yards here. We're going to pitch it out, and that's Dobbins. Is he okay? Why is he limping? J.K. Dobbins is hurt. I can tell. That's not good. That's not good. This guy's been able to stay healthy. This guy's been able to stay healthy all year, and something he hasn't done for a full season, and now he's hurt. Here's Bo looking over the middle, and RJ Harvey picks up 7 or 8. 2nd and 3 coming up, and I know that the production crew, for whatever reason, has been kind of late to report our injuries. The one earlier to Nick Benito that ended up being nothing, but he did sub himself out and go into the blue tent. We just saw Dobbins take himself out. Is that another false start? Why? Nap infraction. All right. Here's RJ Harvey. Picks up 7 on 2nd and 8. I think part of this, you guys, is just playing on a short week. You got to understand, this is not like, everybody's got to play on a short week. Yeah, but the reason it's a little bit different is because most teams at this point had a bye week. Denver went from Philadelphia. I'm gonna tell you something. At this point in the season, these kinds of things really matter. Courtland Sutton on a backward pass. Oh my God. Run that with AJ Harvey. He used to play quarterback, and he's faster. Ah. 59-yard field goal attempt. Short. Ah. Okay, what I was gonna say was, and I was gonna stick up for them. I don't even want to now, but the Broncos, yeah, like the fatigue, the mental mistakes, it's been an issue all year. But I think it's really like getting to a point where they need a bye week. And fortunately, it's coming after this game. But they went from playing the Chargers, and then they played a home game against the Bengals, but then they had to fly all the way to Philly, play the Eagles, and then that was like one of those games where it was a dogfight. And they come out of that with a win, and they don't even fly home. They fly straight to London. They go overseas and get ready for that game. That's another dogfight with a Jets team that just at that point in the season trying to get their first win, but they played teams like the Steelers and, I think was it the Colts, Steelers, and, the Ravens, I think. They had played they played good teams close and lost by exactly 2 points, and we beat them by 2. But going from Philly to London and then flying back to the United States, typically after your international game, you hit the bye week. And Denver, no bye week, taking on a Giants team that their last game was Thursday night against the Eagles. So they had 10 days of rest. We went from Philly to London to Denver on a 6 days of rest, if you can even call it, 6 days of rest with the amount of travel. And then you got to do the game plan and all that. They played the Giants, 33 comeback, and I think the first 3 quarters, I think a lot of that had to do with not having a bye week from London. And after that game, the Giants game, then it was the Cowboys, which was a road game, and then they had to come back home. What was that game that they played last week? They just played it on. We beat on Sunday. It was a bad team, or bad team. Jets, Giants. Here's a quick throw. Ball tipped. Yes, Denver's got it, and a blocker. Damn, he took a big freaking hit from. Oh, now there's a flag. I swear the refs are throwing this game. Back. It was the Texans, right? The Texans are the most physical team in the NFL, period. And that's coming from a Broncos fan. So you go from Philly to London to the Giants to the Cowboys to why am I struggling so hard with this? Philly, Jets, Giants, Cowboys, then back home in the throwback uniforms. Oh no, that's now. So Texans, Cowboys, Texans, Raiders. So it's the combination of traveling, not having any rest. Why do they have the line of scrimmage painted yellow? Don't do that. So the combination of no bye week internationally, all the away games, getting to week 10, and then you're coming off on a short week against the most physical, violent team in the NFL. I think it's catching up to them. Good thing there's a bye week after this. We just got to get out of here with a win, man. Is that out of the pocket? What is this flag? Wow. Another offensive pass interference. This is what the hell? Dude, these refs are getting annoying as hell. The last pass interference they called on Troy Franklin was total bullshit. Where's the flag? Where's the fucking flag? Where? Where's the flag? Fumble. Raiders recover. He was down. Oh. Are they gonna? Yeah, you're gonna say he's down. Dobbins was hurt on the last series. Now he's actually out. Why was he even in? And what are we gonna do now? kick another 59-yard field goal that Will Lutz doesn't have the lag for. So now we have to punt it. He would have made the last one from 57. He only missed it by a yard. Oh, my God. Of course, we suck. God. You had one job. Don't put it in the end zone. Dude, all of your other punts have been 30 yards. And you're trying to boot the crap out of them. Just pretend you're trying to kick it from our own end zone. I'm sure it would have landed inside the 10-yard line. Look at this. This right here, this yellow line for my entire life has meant first down. Whoever decided that we're going to start doing this crap for the line of scrimmage, don't. It's dumb. It's confusing. It's unnecessary. No one likes it. No one likes it. God forbid somebody goes to the bathroom, comes back, and missed a couple plays, and this is the picture they see. It looks like a first down. It looks like a player that is going down 2 yards after getting a first down, not a player making a catch on 3rd and 18 that's going to turn into a 3rd and 16. Get rid of it. It's dumb. I still don't know what the pass interference was. They couldn't show it in the booth. They didn't show it. They showed a replay. Nobody showed where the penalty was. They didn't see anything, so they just, instead of saying I don't see it, they just moved on like nothing happened. Like that wasn't a game-altering drive type of penalty, and it was. I want to see where it is. Sorry, if you're going to throw a 15-yard penalty on my team, I want to see it. Or 10 yards, whatever. I want to see it. I want you to be able to say this is where it is. Because on that replay, I looked at Troy Franklin. I didn't see anything. Oh, good. Bet 20 altogether. If he's out, I'm only out $6. It was about a week back. Do you remember the joke I told you about the chiropractor? I don't remember that one. I don't remember that one. It just let me cash out 14. Thank you for telling me he's possibly hurt. You're welcome, dude. That is why I'm here. That is why I'm here. Sorry, I got so caught up in the play-by-play, I didn't see that. Here, first down, gain of 2. Of the 14 I had left, I just put 10 on Broncos minus 2.5 and an RG Harvey touchdown to win 141. Bet 10 on it. Nice punt. It was about a week back. Oh, God, I get it. I was actually thinking you literally told me a week back, and I'm like, I don't remember it. Here's Geno, 2nd and 7. He's got to throw it into the dirt. Is that a intended receiver? I thought there was. Why is there intentional grounding? Where? There was a receiver there. Was that Brock Bowers, big tight end? Yeah, he's right there on the outside. Oh, I guess it looks a lot worse from that angle. I'm gonna ride it with you. I'm gonna go RJ Harvey to I'm gonna do RJ Harvey. I'm gonna do a Bo Nix touchdown. Broncos -6.5, and all receptions. I'm gonna say Troy Franklin gets 4. I'm gonna say Troy Franklin gets 2 more. Cortland Sutton gets 2 more as well. So I got a Bo Nix touchdown. Denver -6.5. Cortland Sutton 4 receptions, and it's freezing everything. Why? Come on. Okay. All right. $2 to win 268. Oh my gosh, the kick was blocked. There we go. Okay. I got it. I didn't realize I'm late. That's why FanDuel changed the odds, because right there just happened. I think Bo Nix is going to score. If you look at my channel, you'll see a YouTube short. And I have a question. If Brock Bowers were to pick this up, 87, and would he be allowed to run with it since it hit a Bronco? Like, could he have picked it up on the bounce and just ran for a touchdown? Or would the ball be dead right there? I don't understand. When a block happens, it's like I'm always confused unless it's going the other way. There's Bo Nix and loses 2. Well, that's exactly the play I was just referring to. I made a YouTube short on this yesterday. There was a play against the Giants where it was the same thing, an RPO. Bo Nix, right at the snap, Kayvon Thibodeau is right there. Like, he blows past. Our tight end doesn't Evan Ingram doesn't get a chip on Thibodeau at all. And Bo just plants a foot, and he crashes inside, and Bo goes outside and runs it in. Here's Bo Nix. What is that? What is that? Why is he like that? Yep. He's gonna. It's the same thing with Josh Allen. He went from year 2 to year 3. He fixed his mechanics, and everything changed. What is that? God! No more fucking screens! Tip your cat to the Raiders? Such a gross, stupid league. I don't even want it. If we win this game, it's gonna be so confusing because Mary's gonna be like, "I'm sorry," and I'm gonna be like, "We won." She's gonna be like, "What?" No, it just sounded like you definitely lost. Well, God. All right. It is a divisional game, too. We got to keep that in mind. Divisional game. All right. It's the fourth quarter. Time for Denver to score 3 touchdowns. Because for some reason, this is what we have to do every week. I think we have a great defense. You know what's crazy about the 2015 season? Peyton Manning in this offense, could not. There were so many games where they just couldn't get anything going, but our defense was so good. They'd get a pick six at the end of the game or force a fumble and then recover it and take it back for a touchdown to beat the Chargers. It was like every week they just kept on finding a way. And when I say finding a way, I'm talking about the defense, a little bit of offense, but mostly the defense. They were the ones finding ways because they were holding their opponents, to very few points, and they were just Denver was just like somehow getting it done. It was really weird. And then Peyton Manning has this injury, and he's unofficially benched. I guess it would be a soft benching, and he gets benched. And Brock Osweiler comes in week 6. The Patriots are 6-0. The Broncos are 6-0, and we play the Patriots, and the game goes into overtime. And C.J. Anderson has a 50-yard touchdown run in the snow, and Denver gives the Patriots their first loss. And it's even with the backup quarterback, we just kept finding a way. And, finally, week 17 came, which is week 18 today. And Brock Osweiler is out there. He's having a rough first half. It's not really his fault. There's a couple times where the ball's just bouncing the wrong way, but he's got 3 interceptions in the first half. Now, Peyton Manning's healthy at this point, but like I said, it's a soft benching. So he's just kind of standing there, and Denver's riding the hot hand. But as soon as the 3 picks happen, Gary Kubiak makes a very interesting decision. He puts Peyton Manning in the game to start the second half. Peyton Manning comes back and wins that game, and Denver decides to stick with him for the playoffs. It just felt like, all right, we're definitely the fans don't feel that way. We feel like we have a chance. But looking back on it, it was out of Peyton Manning's 4 years, it was easily the most unlikely year. He broke records in 2013 and 2014. The offense was stellar. It was 2012. I think they would have won the Super Bowl. The Joe Flacco Hail Mary, with seconds left. Ravens win. They win the Super Bowl. Denver would have won the Super Bowl that year, I think. And they would have gone to the Super Bowl 3 out of the 4 years. But anyway, they went on to win both of their playoff games by Tom Brady's Patriots to, 12 points for most of the game. And, it's just there's so many parallels with this. Number one, nobody thought that team was good enough to not win the Super Bowl, go to the Super Bowl. There was nobody that was yeah, Denver's a Super Bowl team. And then even when they made it to the Super Bowl, nobody thought Denver was going to beat the Panthers. The Panthers had the best offense in the NFL. They were 15-1. At that point, they were 17-1. It was the Cam Newton Superman show, and yeah, nobody picked Denver. Not a single person. It was all the way. And the Broncos dominated that game, and it was one more for the books. All right, the weirdest season, but we did it. We won the freaking Super Bowl. How did we do that? Manning threw for 100 yards. CJ Anderson ran for like 170 yards in that Super Bowl, maybe 150. But and then Von Miller got 2 strip sacks. One of them was recovered for a touchdown. They just did it. They just did it. Just like all season long, they just found a way to win it. It just happened to be the Super Bowl. And Manning knew he was done. He was like, "Dude, I don't even," and he'll even admit it now. I've heard him say publicly. Towards the end there, it was like they were kinda dragging me, like, the team was carrying me. I wasn't carrying the team anymore. Manning was aware that he lost all of his ability to throw the football, and he retired, a Super Bowl champion. And we're 10 years later. That was Super Bowl 50. This is Super Bowl 60. This defense reminds me of that defense. They're actually one more game, uh, with not letting their opponent score a single touchdown. They've done that 4 times this year. That Super Bowl 50 team, they did it, I believe, 5 times. And the record is the '85 Bears who did it 7 times. Denver had an opportunity to do this tonight, but gave up an early touchdown. But anyway, that Super Bowl is reminding me of this team. Okay, the offense is like good enough. They're good enough when it matters. They can make plays, but the defense is elite. They're holding their opponents to a few amount of points, and the rest of the world doesn't believe Denver's a good team, even though they've won 6 in a row going into this game. And that Super Bowl was in Santa Clara, California. Guess where the Super Bowl is this year? Santa Clara, California. The first Super Bowl in Santa Clara since the Broncos won Super Bowl 50. There's a lot more parallels, I could get into, getting into the weeds here. The division winners, even from that year, are winning their divisions right now. And I think that as long as this team is going to play this type of defense week in and week out, that they're a Super Bowl contender. But I would be lying to you if I felt like they're a Super Bowl contender today. They need, I mean, look, their defense will give them a chance to win any game. It doesn't matter who it is. We don't have Patrick Surtain right now. Keep that in mind. Once he comes back, and Dre Greenlaw, we finally got him. Like this is going to be a really, really good defense. This is going to be a defense that's going to let us be in every single game. But if our offense can get a little more consistent and we can clean up the penalties, Denver will go from a legitimate contender to a favorite. That's where I'm at with this team. I still think they're a top 5 team until somebody beats them because of their defense. Defense wins championships. We say things like that, but then we put the best offenses in our top 5. I saw PFT put Denver at number 2. Oh, another flag. That's great. Need some offense for our bets to hit here. Yep. Do you guys sudden absolutely love screens? No, we absolutely hate them. And we're tired of them. We are averaging like 5 yards. I would be interested in. We've called more screens than any team in the NFL. It's not even close. And teams know that. And the problem with the screens are not, this is the most frustrating part, you guys. I've gone back and looked at the film of every game we played, and everyone's like, Sean needs to give up play calling. Here's the deal. I went back and looked at every screenplay. It's actually it was the ideal situation. You got RJ Harvey getting the ball right away. You got Franklin in a tight end. You got 3 guys in front of him, and you only got 2 defenders, if I just hit the space bar and paused it and showed you a picture, you would go, "Is this a touchdown?" And then I would hit play, and it would be a 2-yard loss. The problem is the execution. The problem is our receivers not getting physical enough. And the problem is defenders that are just playing at a really high level. Like, you gotta admit, like, if somebody ran that stuff on us, like Surtain, would get through some blocks and make a play. But it shouldn't happen every time that the defense wins when you're in the favorable matchup. So at some point, you have to be like, "Okay, it's a great play call. It's a great concept. It's a great time. We called it. We got everything we wanted, but our receivers just aren't great blockers." So at what point do you say, "Our team's not good at running these plays?" Even if they're ideal, even if they look good, they just can't execute at the end of the day. Casey said, "Nix did a great throwaway on second down to the end zone. The Raiders defender was right in front of his receiver." Yeah, sometimes the best play you can make is just avoiding a very negative play, and it's harder to do that when you got the crowd booing. You feel that pressure to, the meme with the guy with the stick poking it saying, "Do something." You start to feel that pressure, but shows good poise to feel confident enough to throw that away. Live for another down. Here's a quick throw to Sutton. And Denver's going to score on this drive and take a 17-10 lead. It's the fourth quarter. Our offense is different in the fourth quarter. Geno Smith is maybe hurt. Well, he is hurt, but I don't know if he's going to come back or not. This would be the second week in a row we've taken out their quarterback. Going deep. What happened? Why did Troy Franklin stop like that? Troy Polamalu just stopped. You misjudged this. Here we go, 3rd and 6 after the incompletion. And Bo has to throw it away. 3 and out. The Raiders are good now? They don't look like a 2-6 team. We've played teams that look like their record, and we mopped the floor with them. They're gonna call 83 on that, and that was a clean block on the Raiders. The only reason they called it is because he put his hands up. I swear, sometimes the refs. That was not an illegal blindside block. I'm not even a Raiders fan. That's just another bad call. These refs, man, it's exhausting. Blindside block, it's not his fault the defender refuses to look ahead. What do you want him to do, not block him? So if I'm the kicking team, I'll just purposely not look in your direction. That way, if you block me, it's illegal. That is dumb. I understand, like, the really bad ones, like, the ones that Hines Ward used to lay people out with. That was not that. Worst game from Bo Nix I've ever seen. I don't even know if it's I think it's the worst game from the offensive line I've ever seen. I mean, yeah, he has a couple bad throws in this game, and it's definitely not a great. Ah, I feel like this is the same thing that happens every week. Sean goes out there, runs it on first down, calls multiple screens in a row. They don't go anywhere, and the fans blame Nix. Yeah, there's a couple throws that I don't like, couple rushed throws with his footwork. It's just not a great day from him, but at the same time, there's a lot of issues going on right now. The O-line is getting absolutely cooked. Bo Nix is snapping the ball, and he has to take off running. That's not going to work very well. I mean, and then you got Sean calling screens over and over, and you start 5 drives inside your own 4-yard line. It's just not going our way. But, like I said, one of the measuring sticks of a great team is if you can look this bad and still win. And it's definitely not because the Raiders are crappy. They're playing really good football. Riley Moss giving up another big completion. That would have been his second one had the drop not happened at the end of the first half. Woody. We needed that. We need your good luck, Woody. Wrap up, you bum. He just wants attention. He's like, I'm Michael Jordan, like the flu game. I'm just kidding. KC said, either way, I win. AFC West, Chiefs division, Titans with the Raiders win, or the Broncos win. Kyle's happy. Thanks, KC. Here we go. Ball down at the 42 now. 3, 2, 1. Just got it off. Good wrap up. That's Brandon Jones. Second and 9, quick throw, good stop. Good stop. Denver leads the NFL in yards per play allowed. I think it's 4.3. It's the lowest since like the 70s or something crazy like that. Third and 8. Need to stop here. Looks like Hufunga's coming off the edge. Now he's going to drop. Pressure coming. Sack. Lunch. Jonathan Cooper. That was Jonathan Cooper. Jonathan Cooper got the sack. And the good luck charm of Woody continues. The legend continues. The legend continues with Woody because he's a good boy. Yep. Yep. Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? You're a good boy. You want to sit in a special chair? There you go. There you go. You're a good boy. Geno Smith looks like he's in a ton of pain. I don't know what happened. 8 minutes, 42 seconds. Never seen the team play this bad in these uniforms. Man, that one also could have possibly put on the 1 yard line if the Raiders covered that better. Every year there's a couple games, even with really good teams that are just ugly. It happens every year. Let me see something. Patriots 16-0 season. Patriots 16-0 season. I'm going to go to Broncos 2015 schedule. 2015 schedule. Here it is. All right. Won the Super Bowl 24-10. Won the AFC Conference 18-20. Won the divisional round 16-23. 20-27. Beat the Chargers week 17. Beat the Bengals in overtime 17-20, December 28th. Lost to the Steelers 34-27. Had a chance to win that game at the end, but had a 3-and-out, then punted it thinking we could get the ball back. And that was one of the games where our defense gave up a first down. But look at this Raiders game, 15-12. We lost to the Raiders 15-12. This is the team that won the Super Bowl 15-12. Beat the Chargers 17-3. Beat the Patriots in overtime 24-30. That was with C.J. Anderson with the 50-yard run in overtime. Got Broncos Bears 17-15. Chiefs 29. Broncos 13. 27-24. Colts won. Packers game. I watched that one with my dad. It was a great win. 26-23. Broncos 16-10 Raiders. Like even the year we won the Super Bowl, look at the Raiders game, 16-10. Then we lost 15-12. Divisional teams, man. I try to keep the context that if we have a bad game and it's ugly and we get out of here with an ugly win, it doesn't mean that we're not a Super Bowl contender, even though everyone's going to be frustrated. Here's throw and catch, and like Denver needs to have a good drive here. Let me just be clear. Mike Shanahan was going to take a drink of his drink, and then he thought he was on camera and put it down. Mike Shanahan catching a buzz in the suite next to the Walter Partnership Group. Here's a run for 0 yards. Where is the push? This offensive line, man. What is that? Second down? Second down. Run. 0 push on the line. Just stop running it. Just keep passing it. Pretend you're down. Oh my God. Intercepted. Wow. 2 Broncos dropped that. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Stop dropping the fucking ball. It's okay, Woody. It's okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the Broncos. It's okay. I just get mad at the Broncos sometimes. That's all. I love you. I love you. I think you're a good boy. I don't have a good feeling about this game. Gino is hurt, but he's back out on the field. Why are these comments just now coming in? Looks like Geno Smith is injured now. That's weird. It says 9:39, but they just came in. Can you guys put a comment in just to see if it's working? Stop trying to strip the ball and just make the damn tackle. Yeah, especially when you're trying to strip the ball. Stop hitting him forward. Third and 6. Come on. Get there. Pressure coming. Benito has to just throw it away. And that's a big throwaway because it keeps the Raiders in field goal range. "48-yard field goal." Here we go. Snap. Hold. Kick is no good. Harvey TD for 141. Come on, Harvey. Come on, Harvey. Oh my gosh. One more yard. I gotta be honest. It's kind of weird, some of these commercials. I made a post this morning. I was watching Good Morning Football, and I'm like, it's 7 a.m. and I'm just waking up, and I just want to watch football. I don't want to think about anything too deep. I just want to watch football. I'm watching Good Morning Football this morning. I love the show. I love starting my day with the show, but the commercial blitz is exhausting. I mean, Good Morning Football is great until the PSA avalanche hits. I wrote down the commercials. And by the way, this was in the first 10 minutes. Never forget to honor character. Watch my drinking with or. Adopt a child. Don't text and drive. I need to finish my high school diploma. I need to make a family emergency communication plan. Listening is a form of love, and I need to learn to talk to my kids. What do you say when a Jewish boy is kicked on a New York sideway? What do you say when a Holocaust survivor is firebombed in Colorado? Share the blue square, stand up to Jewish hate. Okay, back to the Broncos Raiders game tonight. It's like, why does that? Why are the commercials like this? I just want to watch the football. Can you just put a Geico commercial on? I, I I know why. I, I they get there's something called an ERC score. It's a score that is based on how well you perform in relation to uh, and environmental and I'll just put it this way, other issues, social stuff, and basically, if you have a really good score, you get capital. If you don't have a great score, they can take your capital, because the United Nations have they enacted this PRI, Principles for Responsible Investments. So they control your money. It's a long story short, but at the same time, can they make it less obvious? Like, can we space these PSA commercials out? So it's like Geico, uh, Target, then maybe a PSA, then I mean, does it have to be back to back to back to back? I don't wanna think about all this stuff when I'm waking up. It's a little ridiculous. I can't imagine anybody wants to start their day thinking about all this stuff. Why do I think of Buffalo when I hear those 2 words? I've never seen the offensive equivalent of a retirement home fight before. I've never seen the offensive equivalent of a retirement home fight. I'd watch a couple geezers duke it out, Nick. Third and Third and 1, I swear, if Denver just tries to get out of here with a 7-10 win, I'm so mad. I looked forward to this. Why are you running out of bounds? Why did you run out of bounds? Why did he run out of bounds? Look at this. I can't control myself. Why? Dude, have some body control. You could have picked up I don't know, that could have gone for a touchdown. You know how many times I've seen Tyreek Hill take that exact play to the house? That was that wasn't a flag? When I go visit my grandma, she was always watching some Western show, and they always had old AARP or Shriners or Help Out the Dog commercials, and it makes me sad. Dude, I left out a couple commercials. It has to do with kids and their teeth, and I'm not even gonna talk about it, but yeah. It makes you feel terrible. Um, it's awful. I wish they would stop. J.K. Dobbins. Same thing with making movies about slavery. There's a Shane Gillis thing. It's like Shane Gillis is like, no, he's like, I've asked my black friends. He's like, do you guys watch this shit? And they're like, no, I thought you. It's like, no. He's like, who are these for? Alert, alert. Black 52. Black 52. Set up. Handoff. And what is up with this offensive line? I thought the Raiders were the worst pass defense in the NFL. Did somebody get healthy? This is a completely different team. That's crazy that the Raiders would have even considered using a timeout when it's 3rd and inches. It doesn't make any sense. Denver runs a QB sneak, and then you wasted your timeout. And then you can't stop the clock, and Denver. So if they pick up, how many timeouts do the Raiders have now? 1? So if they pick up this first down, the game's almost over. First down. Why do the Raiders think they stopped him? It didn't even look close. So they're going to have. Why wouldn't they have saved that timeout? They just saved 18 seconds. Think about this. This is the clock management. They called the timeout with 2:18. They saved 18 seconds. They could have let the clock run all the way down to 2 minutes. They lose 18 seconds, but then they save their timeout. So after first down, they save 40 seconds. Handoff, J.K. Dobbins. And we're going to go to the 2-minute warning. We had a couple mistakes ourselves today. Let's see. We still got to get out of here with a win. It's not over yet. Man, I'm so bummed out. It's like you wait all week for these games, and then it's like this. And you're just like, no, I want something better. Oh, I thought they had their bye after this game. They're playing Kansas City after this. Holy crap. I thought our bye week was after this game, and then we play Kansas City. And I thought that because I saw Kansas City are on their bye week this week. Okay, that makes sense. So we're playing Kansas City coming off a bye without a bye week. All right, so Denver won. It's not a playoff game, but we're moving. Hey, next week if we beat the Chiefs, no one's gonna even. This game will be forgotten, easily forgotten. It is not memorable. It was a bad game. It was ugly. Sometimes you have to win ugly. That's just what it is. I think teams played better, but maybe Sean felt. Let me be real. This is the kind of stuff fans don't think about. Is it possible that sometimes coaches don't want to use certain plays against certain teams? Like maybe Sean has a lot of really good stuff cooked up, but he's like, I don't want to use that now. We're playing the Chiefs next week. We're gonna just be boring, do the bare minimum, get out of here with a win, and keep the cards close to the chest. Hard fought defensive battle. This is my uncle's favorite kind of game, by the way. It's weird. I haven't felt this way after a win, and it's funny. I'm getting spoiled. 4 years ago, I would do anything for a win. Now I get upset in wins. That's a good way to tell that the standard has changed. The standard has changed. We can get upset. Why do you feel for Gino? You feel for Gino? He couldn't score more than 7 points. What do you feel for Gino for? Gino didn't do crap. And people are looking at this game going, man, I feel bad for Gino. Because the Raiders defense. Wait, what? You should feel bad for the Raiders defense, not Gino. The Raiders defensively played a great game. Held Denver to 10 points. Feel bad for Gino? Congrats, Kyle. A W is a W. See you next week. Surprise, LOL. You knew this whole time we were playing next week. We are the worst 8-2 offense I've ever seen. Were you alive for the 2015 offense? That offense was terrible. But yes, they are bad. We're becoming a good team. You know your standards changed when you next settle for the actresses. You know I'm lying. We fucking thotties on the mattress, Dirk. I haven't seen that. It sounds like something that would be in what's that hillbilly movie? The Dirt, Joe Dirt. It sounds like a Joe Dirt thing. $220 total yards versus Las Vegas, 5 for 15 on third down. Third down, 220. $84 rushing yards. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm gonna do now. I'm going to make a video. I'm gonna close this down, and I'm gonna go live right now with a new video, what to make of the Broncos win over the Raiders. Thank you guys for tuning into the live stream of the game. If you guys wanna hop over for the post-game recap, I'd be happy to see you guys over there. If not, I totally understand. It's getting late, but I just wanted to thank you guys for being in here, watching the game with me, and dealing with my behavior. I know this was definitely a tough game to watch. It is hard for me. I can't imagine you guys hearing me complain every second. But there was just a lot to complain about in this game. It was the worst game of the year, easily. I mean, it was just bad. Just a bad, bad day. But we got the win. I don't wanna if I'm not careful, I'm gonna roll into my recap now. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Long live our one and only Bill Harton. Denver Broncos get the win. Please hit the like button before you guys get out of here. If it wouldn't be too much to ask, just hit that button. Also, if you're a Broncos fan out there, share me with other Bronco fans. Let's make me a viral Bronco fan. I wanna be known in the Broncos community. I've spent my whole life waiting. I mean, look, why do I care so much if not my life was supposed to be intertwined with the Broncos? That's obviously why I was chosen by the Denver Broncos. So help me fulfill my destiny and share me with a Broncos fan. All right, I'll see you guys at the recap or at my predictions tomorrow. And once again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Go Broncos. Woo!